Hello and welcome to the Kobold Cafe. My name is Colin, and I'm the GM tonight. It's Thursday night, and that means it's Star Trek Adventures. The name of the game is Pathfinder, and joining us tonight in some sort of a random order that I didn't put any thought into, Tom,
I am Tom. I play Commander Vivek, the chief engineer.
Tara,
I am Tara. I play Captain Demore, Cardassian extraordinaire. I can talk.
you sure?
I pretend to talk.
Everoth,
Hello, I am the Lieutenant Commander Eversoul.
just give
That was
yourself
my
a
grandfather.
promotion.
Sorry.
Oh, right.
I was thinking about the last session.
Yes.
In case you were not with us, catch us up in Twitch, right?
Yeah, Twitch and the website, and I don't know if Luke's put that one up on YouTube yet. We're around. And then Daniel.
I'm Daniel. I play Tesora, the Vulcan paleoastronomer and paranormal activity investigator.
Running a little late because of urban traffic, as semi-usual, is James McCullen, ship's first officer, the Bajoran Tonjot. We'll catch him up later. Right. Let's just dive right into it. Daniel, go. Take it away.
Personal log, stardate 60692.9. Over the last several months, 4 Starfleet vessels have surveyed dozens of systems, and out of a score of candidates, Admiral Singh has decided that the Copa system will be the site of our first colony in the sector. Since the USS Percival conducted the original survey, Admiral Singh has assigned us to do a detailed survey of the 3 prospective planets and recommend the best colony sites to the Office of Colonial Affairs. There's a delicate balance in selecting a colony site, and many factors must be considered, which means this may well be our most important assignment to date.
All right. So, what do you guys remember about the Copa system?
Is this the one where we fought the assholes?
Yes, this is the one in which you fought the assholes.
Which you'll have to be more specific.
the ones with that big ship who demanded, like, we give them something, and we're like, no, we're not giving you something. And they're like, fine, we're gonna fight you, and we're like, fine. And then we shot them, and they're like, oh, maybe this was a bad idea.
Yeah, they called themselves the Baroka. Their ship was incredibly large, but ultimately had inferior technology to your own, except for their shields were very advanced.
This was this Bully for you?
This was Bully for You was the name of the episode. That was what, episode 5 or 4?
Something like that.
Somewhere in there.
Okay.
I think it was 4. Okay. Right. So, you are to return to the Copa system. There were actually 3 planets in the Copa system that were M class, or I guess 2 planets and a
Moon.
Yeah. So there was one that was on the colder side, one that was very tropical, and one that's sort of just right.
Was the tropical one with the drugs, or was that another planet?
That was another planet. Wait, drugs? Oh, that was another planet.
Those are the Klingons, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was the system you explored before this one.
Okay.
All right. I know we were going back a couple months in real time and like 9 months, I think, in game time. So everybody is more or less up to speed, except Tom Jot, who overslept.
He's here.
Okay, good. Okay, so upon approaching the Copa system, the first thing that you guys notice is, of course, you are not alone. Who's on sensors?
I think it's Ever.
Yep, he's the
Really?
one with the sensors knowledge, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me a control science roll with a difficulty of 2. Supported by the
Okay.
ship.
That would be 16. And how many successes do I need?
2. Boom.
3 success. Oh no, wait, no focus, right?
No focus.
2 successes.
All right, supported by the ship's sensors, science for 12-2.
Remember, all our sensors are one lower.
You mean
so that would
difficulties?
need 1 success then?
Yes. And 2 momentum. Okay, so you detect 2 ships in orbit around the second M-class planet. This is the tropical one that's the more inner of the 2 full-sized M-class planets.
Captain, 2 ships located around the second planet.
Let me guess. We can't scan through their shields.
Let me try. Can we scan through their shields?
Yeah. Actually, identifying a ship, I found out recently, is a con roll.
What?
Yeah, which
Communication.
kind of makes sense. Instead of relying on security for everything, like having con also be starship knowledge kind of makes sense.
All right, I guess. Come on.
I think I can do that. Is reason con?
Yeah.
That's a good score for me. I'll do it. And I have a specialization in well, actually, no, I have a specialization in small crafts and helm operations, not ship catalogs, I guess.
Yes, but it is
What-
actually only difficulty 1 because it's going to be assisted by the nice new sensors that you got.
Yay.
There's 2.
Yeah, so one of the ships is a somewhat old Katinga class destroyer from the Klingons, and the other one is a Breen. Oh God, Chel Get or Gret.
Breen ship.
Yes, I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, Chel Gret cruiser.
Captain, I think we may be about to run into some old friends of Tonjot.
I look over at Tonjot. Look at you and
What
say, be more specific, please.
well, do we remember what model those Klingons we ran into last time? Either way, it's a Klingon ship and a Breen ship. Make of that what you will.
Breen ship. Oof. I'm thinking yellow alert, but nah. Bring us within range of the 2 ships. I would like to be there to support the Klingons if necessary.
Very well.
All right.
I don't think I need to pilot, right?
Nah. I mean,
Okay.
there's nothing that would prevent you from getting there. As you approach, you do detect the Breen ship powering weapons. While you are still, out of range to do anything, they begin firing. The beam passes the Klingon ship and impacts on the planet below. And then after another minute, like there's another attack, and this one, as the Klingon ship starts maneuvering, actually impacts on the dorsal or top side of the Klingon ship. The Klingon
The
ship
Breen
is,
ship, you mean?
No, the Breen ship is firing. One beam hit the planet, the other beam hits the top of the Klingon ship.
Hail the Klingon ship.
Who's on con or comms?
Zora?
Ensign, I think.
Con or comms?
Comms.
Comes.
I don't think anyone's on comms.
Well,
I would have assumed you were on comms.
Tara.
'Cause you, like,
Sure. What do I need?
I should bring up your character sheet. You know what? Let me bring up the book because there's actually a section specifically about this. but this is the first time that we've really had to use comms in combat. Because you guys don't have any friends.
We have one friend, and they're getting shot at.
Here we go. Bridge positions, navigator, helm, commanding officer, security, tactical, main engineering. What are these listed in order of usefulness?
Isn't there a thing within Fantasy Grounds that we have?
Oh, yeah, in the images section.
Yeah.
I'm like right here though. Security, tactical, damn it. Okay, communications. Control plus engineering assisted by the ship's communications engineering. Difficulty is 1 because of the ongoing combat.
Great. I say sarcastically.
Wait. Are you trying to encode it so the Breen cannot listen in?
No, I'm just asking.
Oh,
I'm just calling
yeah.
to see if they need help.
If it's a control engineering role, I'm happy to do it. I just don't. I didn't know if I was at the station. I also didn't know that like it got that sophisticated, like in terms of like tech. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff they can do is actually, it looks like, jamming communications for other ships, and this is the one that's least likely to come up. But
All I wanted to do was call and ask if they needed help.
yeah, difficulty 1.
All right, so this is 11 below, and not a 1.
Oh my god, that makes up for all the fucking 20s.
All right. So that's 3 extra movement, momentum.
Yeah, plus the ship's got to roll. Federation, Percival, there it
You're
is.
like coming in 4K over there. Whew.
Okay. Well, you guys have built up quite the little pool already. All right, so go pack the Klingon commanding officer, who you do recognize from episode 3. It comes up on the screen. You know, you can see in the background that battle mode is on, which is kind of like Red Alert, except more intense because it's Klingon.
Go back. Do you need assistance?
He's like, yes, these Breen are trying to claim our planet selection for a colony. Open fire and help us destroy these honorless dogs.
The Breen were part of the people that killed millions of my people. You don't have to tell me twice. I don't say that, but you know. Tanjat, aim at their weapons, please. I think.
Do we need to get closer?
You will start out at long range.
Which is perfect, because that's what our lance is at.
You guys. Okay, start out with 16 power, and I better pull up the stats for this Breen ship. Chell Greet cruiser. So this is the sort of mainstay cruiser of the Breen forces during the Dominion War. I think it was only 3 of these ships penetrated Starfleet defenses and launched an attack on Earth directly. It was like the first time since the 2100s when the Xindi attacked Earth that Earth had been attacked directly, like on the planet. The Borg came close, but they didn't want to blow anything up.
So yeah. Tanjat, please destroy them. Or their weapons.
Is Tanjat here?
He is here.
Yeah.
He might be muted. There we go.
There. So wait, what's the secondary reactors do again?
More power. That's what gives you 16 power instead of 11.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Shoot at their weapon system.
Okay. You are inside of the range of the weapon, so that's just difficulty 2. Let's see here. Power is 5. Calibration, so you just have to spend your minor action charging it. Piercing 3, damage is 15 plus security. So difficulty goes up to 3 for aiming at a specific system.
All right. This is 15.
You got 2? 3.
Sweet.
I assume that you have a applicable.
No, I don't.
You do not. Well, maybe the ship will give you what you need. That's weapons security, difficulty, or success on 14 or better, double on a 3 or better. There you go.
There we go.
Okay, so roll 15 plus security, so roll 20d6.
Try to remember. Do we need to roll this in groups of? Oh no, that was our 4A into Fallout that we had to roll a
Oh,
certain
right.
amount.
Okay. Tara, I'm just going to tell you how many effects as I'm counting up the damage, okay?
Okay.
So, effect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 effect.
Okay.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11 effect.
Okay.
12, 13, 14, 15 effect. 16
Okay.
effect. 17, 18, 19 effect. All right. 19 damage. So that completely negates their shields. The resistance is 4, so it also negates all of that. I'm going to have to add a escalation cost to this. So 4 damage. Oh, right. That doesn't work that way. Okay. So the shields are down completely, so you're going to do 2 breaches instead of just the 1. The first one is to weapons. The second one is to a random location. So go ahead and roll a d20 and tell me what the number is.
12.
12. Okay, so also to the structure. So you do a breach to the structure and a breach to the weapons. Oh my god. No, roll another d20. You do 3 breaches.
You got that on? Oh, okay. To the 19.
That's also the weapons, so that's 2 breaches to the weapons. I just want to make sure that's the only... Alright. No resistance dice. Total damage. Rolled by 1 for each point of total resistance. We don't have to worry about that. If the ship suffers 5 or more damage, yes. If the ship is reduced to 0, yes. 0, then the ship suffers 1 or more damage. Okay, yeah, so that's 3 breaches. 2 to the weapons and 1 to structure. Yeah. Okay. So sensors read the weapons as being completely offline, and you broke through their shields. And
Bad
you
of the ass.
have a Breen commander on your screen.
This is Percival.
I am Relk Beck. Why have you fired on me unprovoked?
We had a request for aid from one of our allies.
I wasn't firing at the Klingon ship. We were firing our phasers at the planet in order to aid in geoengineering and tectonic, using plate tectonics. The Klingon ship interposed itself in between us and our target.
Well, our mistake then.
You have heavily damaged my ship. That's more than a mistake.
I'll kind of just do that thing where I rest my elbow on the seat and then, have my chin in between my index finger and my thumb and go, we will cease firing as long as you do the same.
Agreed. And the screen winks off. And Eversoul, you detect the Klingon ship charging weapons.
Oh,
Captain, they're charging weapons.
tell them to stand down.
Stand down. This is an order.
Not ordered.
Well, we're ordering them to stand down. Out of character, I mean. Right?
Well, we want them to stand down, but we're asking them to stand down. We took them out. And they've agreed to stop.
the
Don't give Klingons an
Klingons.
order.
We request that you stand down for now.
I don't think you get an acknowledgement, but they do power down their weapons. And you know what, Gropak shows up, like he hits you up on the communicator. He's like,
Well, Grope.
why stop now? We have them at our mercy. Obviously taking
They
a lot of
surrendered
credit.
They surrendered, or they stood, not surrendered. They have agreed to a ceasefire.
Is anyone else getting so much packet loss that you can't make anything out?
I'm
good.
getting everything okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Try Control R. That usually helps. But I believe the three of us need to have a chat. If you would like to beam aboard our ship, Commander, we'd be glad to have you.
I'll agree. Expect me in 1 hour. You know, they have to make some sort of preparations.
Of course. We look forward to it. I will then lean back in my chair and look at the crew and say, well, this simple mission turned into something completely different now, didn't it?
You gonna invite the Bree?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Screw those guys.
Okay then. Well, you've got about an hour before the Klingons said they would beam over. Does anybody have anything important they need to do?
Hide the tribbles. I'll just make sure they're in my room without in their playpen with enough food. They shouldn't be any trouble, I hope.
Famous last words.
Roll to 20. Damn it!
Yeah. Okay. Um. Anybody else?
Are we planning on inviting that brain aboard as well?
You should ask the captain.
Okay. Captain, is it just going to be the Klingon leader, or are we eventually having the brain over as well?
We'll see how the communications go with the Klingons, but I believe eventually that will be necessary.
Sounds good. I'll go see how Klingon brain fusion cuisine tastes.
Please do not.
I don't even know. I don't think anybody knows what the Breen eat.
I might actually a little bit. They were a part of the whole shindig.
Yeah, but I think they they were pretty insular when that happened.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well,
okay.
I would like to win the captain. Oh, and also I extended the other Klingons. If any others wish to come over, they are welcome to come too.
I don't think Gropak is going to take crew off of his ship while he's suspecting combat.
But that was that. It just the invitation was open.
Okay, fair enough.
And then I would like Tonjot to join me because he has good relations with this guy.
Yeah, they're buddies. How's your audio, James?
Seems to be getting better.
Okay, good. Okay, so 1 hour later, Gopak materializes in your transporter room. Are you there to meet him, or do you have him brought to you?
Oh no, I'm there to meet him.
All right. He sees. Are you both there?
I mean, if James would like to be, or Tonjot would like to be.
I'm sorry, what?
Would you like to be there with when the Klingon comes aboard? It's your Klingon buddy from the planet of overeating.
Oh, right, yeah, sure.
All right. Yeah. So, I think he walks over and gives you a hug, like kind of breezes right past the captain and gives you one of those, big full body pelvis to pelvis hugs that the Klingons are good at.
Yeah, no, I return it in kind. I think Tonjot's excited to see this guy. We've been doing the pen pal thing, if I recall.
Yeah. You've definitely kept in touch a little bit. No secrets, obviously,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, but I mean, even like right after that, there was that whole probe thing with the Klingons, and I made sure to like send him all that shit.
oh
Like,
yeah.
hey, we found this probe and we managed to get all this shit off of it. Looks like you guys didn't really care to go check it, but here.
He's like, so you guys came at just the right time, and I really appreciate your intervention. His ship is significantly smaller than the Breen ship, and also outfitted as an explorer, so doesn't have the warship of armament that the Breen do.
But we do.
Yeah, you do.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, like at this point, aren't we like the closest thing that Starfleet has to a warship?
The Sovereigns are pretty warshipy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're more of a corvette than anything.
After I would call you guys a destroyer.
Okay.
After the Dominion War, the design, I don't know, the ideas around design kind of changed a little bit, and they realized that, okay, we might be a exploration group, but the fact of the matter is we're also defense, and we've fought a bunch of wars with ships that weren't really warships. Let's rethink things a little bit. So because the Dominion ships did in one-on-one engagements just tear through equivalent sized Starfleet ship.
Yeah.
You realize you just said that, and Gene Roddenberry just shivered a little bit in his grave.
You know what? I think I could take him.
I will eventually, when the bear hug is over, I will shake the captain's hand and say, "Well, it's our pleasure to help you, give you this assistance." And shall we go to the conference room?
Lead the way. And he stays back, like, chatting friendlily with Tanjat while you walk in front.
Oh, yeah. That is completely acceptable. Anyone who wants to be a part of this briefing is welcome, by the way. So if you want to take yourself out of the scene, then you can take yourself out, but otherwise I assume you're there.
After Bunny and Clyde was left in one of their crew, no thanks.
Hey, Colin.
Yeah.
Tanjat is like mildly flirting with this Klingon captain.
Okay. Gonna do a quick Google search real quick.
As far as what Tesora is going to do, I think it would be best if I stayed on the bridge because I don't trust the brain. And while I'm there, I don't know if this might be useful, but I'd like to run a deeper scan on the area of the planet that the brain just tried to quote unquote terraform and see if there's anything, useful there. But otherwise, I'm just going to stay at the ready because I don't trust them.
Okay, sounds good. What about Vivek and Erisol?
Like I said, after the incident with Bunny and Clyde, I'm not gonna get close to them.
Yeah,
Vivek?
I'll come as well.
Okay, so the three of us. Yeah. Scene change. Wrong.
Okay. Scene change. Okay. Yeah. So you're sitting at the conference table. Whatever shape you decide. What shape is it actually?
Oval.
Oval. Okay. Yeah. So he's like, yeah, we've been surveying for potential colony sites, and this system has 3 excellent prospects. We were we had come back this way specifically to look at 2 of them, and when we got here, the Breen had begun firing beam weapons at the surface in order to prevent them from completely destabilizing the environment. We asked them to stop, and then when they refused, we interposed our ship between their weapons and the planet. But as you saw, they didn't really care if they were impacting our shields instead of the planet.
Funny. We're here to do the to also colonize one of the planets in the system, and it seems like they're doing the same.
Like, well, there's there's 3 planets, but as Klingons, we do prefer warmer climates, and this one is the warmest. Also, for security reasons, it really wouldn't be good for the Breen to have a colony in the same system as the Klingons. We've had several conflicts with them over the years, and they do not have honor. They do not fight honorably, and Klingon civilians within the area would be in grave danger.
I wholeheartedly agree. They also killed millions of my people.
Well, you have a mighty ship, and I think between the two of us, we can easily face one measly Breen ship without repercussions if it comes to that.
If it comes to that, let's hope it doesn't. I'll look over at the other two in the room. Well, we seem to have started at the negotiating table at a loss, and I'll kind of say that with a little bit of slight, barely noticeable smirk. And then go, any suggestions from the two of you on how to proceed?
Captain, we got a tactical idea, but not the first step we should take.
Well, Commander, if I'll look over at the Captain, if you wouldn't mind, I think we need to invite our friend.
Beep, beep.
Yes, Ensign.
Well, I've got bad news. There is a Breen. Is it a Breen? Actually, is it a Breen ship, Colin?
No.
There's a ship decloaking to a starboard.
What is it?
Yeah. Let me. Can I identify it?
Yeah, go ahead and roll that con roll.
If it's Klingon,
Okay.
if it's not Klingon, Romulan, I'm gonna laugh.
What is the difficulty?
I think just one.
Okay, 1. Here we go.
If it's a Romulan communication, it's a rom-com.
Oh shit.
Wah wah. Well, we got
Yeah,
two.
it is a Romulan ship. And what's the complication? Another Breen ship arrives.
Oh, 2 ships.
Jesus.
And can I get the roll for the ship as well?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Percival, here we go. And
There we go. I think we're full again.
Yeah.
So yes, that's
One
2
more,
ships.
actually.
A Breen ship and a Romulan ship, and anybody else out there.
Patch me through to the Romulans, please. Romulan, Romulan vessel. This is the USS Percival. I'm Captain Demore. Please respond.
All right. USS Percival. This is the RIS Venator, Commander IMEC. Commander IMEC commanding. Go ahead.
What brings you to this little foray we have going here?
We were doing some surveying in a nearby system and detected weapons fire. When we came to investigate, obviously our curiosity was piqued by a Breen, a Klingon, and a Federation ship all in orbit together. Pray tell, what's going on here?
There is a bit of a disagreement about colonies in this system, and we are currently working it out.
I see. Allow me to offer my services as an independent arbiter.
I John Jot. And then go. If you would like to, if the others agree, I'm not opposed. I look at the Klingon now.
He looks thoughtful. He's like, I have no small amount of distrust for the Romulans. They are, sneaky, backstabbing, and without honor. But I would trust, any 3 Romulans before 1 Breen. I will go with your recommendation, Captain.
We have yet to invite the Breen on board, but if you would like to come over so arbitrations can begin, I will contact them and see if they are open to the idea.
Excellent. Let me make some communications, and we will be over shortly.
All right. Thank you, Commander. And as soon as comms go down, I look at Tonjot and go, okay, we are going to need extra security on this ship. We have a state-of-the-art weapon that they would love to get their eyes or their hands on.
I mean, can't we just use like force shields to make a cut off sections where people can and can't go?
Yes, but I was saying that please make sure that everything stays top secret.
Oh yeah, no, I'll just get all hands on deck on my security team.
Excellent. I believe I have one final call to make, and I will beep the Breen back.
Yeah, you assume it's the Breen commander since they all wear the same outfits. It's really hard to tell individuals apart. Like, this is Beck. Go ahead, Federation.
Was that the same name?
Yes.
Okay. Beck, the Romulans that have just arrived have decided that they would like to, or not decided, have offered their assistance in arbitration between what is seeming like a territorial dispute. Would you be opposed to such a thing?
The Romulans are not without their own designs on this sector. We would prefer a local race acted as arbiter.
There's at this time we do not have such a thing, but we could discuss it more if you would like to come aboard.
We have made relations with a local, with a race that lives in this sector. If you would permit us to, we will reach out to them to also be present, but we do not object to the Romulans being involved in these discussions.
I believe I know who you speak of in this sector, and they also have territorial claims here. We may need another party involved.
The Baroka have no territorial claims on this system any longer.
We will discuss this further once you are aboard, but you may contact them.
Roger that. We will alert you when we are ready to beam aboard. Daniel, go ahead.
The Baroka, when they say local race in the sector, in terms of distance, what other races do we know within the sector? Like the ones we've interacted with, the ones on the Paradise planet, and we've interacted with the Spes. Are either of them equally local to the sector as the Baroka?
I would say less local, but a sector in Star Trek is like a 20 light year cube.
And they're in it?
Yeah, I feel like they're all close enough that you could make the argument. But as far as like this system goes, well, you actually don't know where the Baroka are. You
Yeah.
just know that they, were here at least that one time.
Also, wasn't one of those races that imported an important steel influenced by the Ferengi, so we also cannot trust them because of that?
This is just all our decisions biting us in the ass.
The
Right now.
Svess like us.
I will.
Do they though?
Which
Don't
ones
they?
are the Svess? Are they the ones? Which ones are the ones on the planet with all the food?
Oh yeah. 102. The name of the
Mhm.
planet was Europe 3.
Mm-hmm.
Jurger.
The Jurger.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they like us, and the Svess are the ones who their whole planet was all like we have their consciences in our whatchamacallit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in our
they're mad at
holodeck.
us too.
The
They're mad?
consciousnesses that are supposed to be like revered and in their in their like computer system, the reliquary, and you
I
like
thought-
straight up
I thought we
deleted
helped them.
portions of it. You helped them, but
They're
you,
pissed.
yeah, you helped them in a way that like was almost
Did
like
not make them
sacrilegious
happy.
to them.
Oh,
So let's
Well,
call.
never mind.
I will actually contact the grain planet.
The Jurger.
Yeah.
They are. They have an agricultural focus.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what I just if we need 3 independent parties to be able to cast a vote, and I would rather it be them.
Okay. They don't have high warp speed, so it will take them like a day or a day and a half to reach the planet. But they do agree to come.
Okay, excellent. We have a whole hubbubaloo going on, and the ship needs to get ready for it. Who's good at party planning?
Rick!
the giant crystal entity likes us.
Oh, that
No,
thing's
it
pissed.
doesn't.
We spared it.
We shot at a toddler. It does not
Yeah.
like us.
Yeah.
Your wife likes party planning.
Yeah, I
Oh,
will
she
actually
does.
ask her to be involved with our guy.
Her and Rick?
Yeah.
Okay.
And not party, but you know what I mean. Like, this is diplomatic.
Yeah. Okay. Tanjot. Let's get a presence security roll for you sort of setting up security precautions with your team.
Okay.
I'm going to say there's no real difficulty. I'm not going to have you generate momentum on this, but you can spend as much as you want. But basically, the success of this roll will determine if anybody wants to or tries to do anything untoward, like what difficulty they will be going against to be undetected or,
Okay. Well, then in that case, I am gonna spend 3,
Good call.
and then I'm also going. Can I, since I'm the one setting this up with everybody, can I lead by example?
Absolutely you can. All right, so this is presence 10, security 15, 15, double success on a 5 or better. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
And the ship doesn't help with this, right?
No, not really, because this is the things on the ship.
I didn't think so. I just wanted to make sure.
All right, security is 4. That is pretty good. I mean, if you guys are rolling against a 4, you'd be sweating up a storm, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think the Romulans are ready to beam over first.
I will go alone.
Okay. Yeah. So it's the Romulan commander. What I call him? IMEC.
Actually, wait, no. Oh, I want to bring Tesora. I really do, just for funny reasons. But I'm not gonna. Tesora, do you want to be there?
Sure.
Then be there.
Okay. Yeah. So it's Commander IMEC, and he has only brought one like Ulan, or some sort of an underling.
Have you given me any directive, Captain?
Oh, you're going to whoever they bring. You are going to be the dude, whoever they bring aboard. No, you're the person who shows them around and stuff. You're gonna be there. This is punishment duty. You're like, you know how an officer usually gets assigned to like a captain or things like that.
The name of the role that you're thinking
Yes.
of is envoy.
Envoy, you are our envoy for this.
You want me to
group.
give them? You want me to give him a tour?
No, you're not
Or-
not just a tour. You are their
Their butler, basically, for the direction.
you
duration of
whipping
the-
boy. You are the ensign on duty. This is your job.
Okay, so I'm his butler essentially.
Well,
right?
it's more
Kinda.
than just butler, but you are their Starfleet representative. So whatever they need, like you are their attendant, you are their tour guide, you are their chauffeur, as it were. Like,
Yeah, that sounds like a butler.
Yes,
like,
okay, fine.
Butler
fine.
plus.
If
okay.
they require you to buttle, then you will be a butler.
Very well. Okay. I don't entirely know how I feel about Romulans. How should I feel about Romulans? Obviously, the Vulcans don't like them, right?
Well, okay, so centuries, millennia ago, Romulans and Vulcans were one race.
Right.
And so there's this sort of schism because the races feel so much emotion. And so, they're the followers of oh god.
What's his name?
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot. Doesn't really matter. So they're the
Mhm.
followers of the Vulcan guy who decided that they have to remove all emotion and think only logically to sort of prevent their their emotions from overwhelming. And then they're the ones who decided, no, like, we need to feel, and they took off, and it wasn't until thousands of years later that they realized that, oh shit, the Romulans used to be the same race as us. So there's like at a base level, there's a sense of kinship. I mean,
Right.
green blood, pointy ears, all that good stuff.
Yeah, sure.
But also, a couple of times over the years, the Romulans have tried to annex or incite violence on Vulcans. So, take that.
Right. Okay. Got it. Cool. Well, then go ahead and just let me know how he appears. How he reacts when he sees that I've been assigned to him.
Well, I guess he beams on, and I will.
Yeah, he
shake
beams
his hand.
on with one underling, and he kind of does the Romulan salute, which, if I remember correctly, is a fist over the chest, or is that Klingons?
I think that's Klingon. I don't remember.
I don't either. Oh my god. Anyway, he he does the formal salute, and he's actually smiling as he climbs down from the transporter pad, and shakes your hand in the human fashion, or I guess maybe we'll call it the Starfleet fashion.
Yeah.
He's like, Captain, allow me to introduce Sarah, Sera, my adjunct.
And may I introduce Ensign Tesora? She will be your envoy while you are aboard.
And he looks at you, and Ensign, very pleased to meet you. And he actually does the Vulcan salute.
Yeah, I'll give him a crisp, smile and nod and a return salute, and say, yes, pleasure to be at your service.
Have the other parties arrived on board yet?
The Klingon ambassador or captain is aboard, and we have Oh, 3 others coming, and they should all be here by the end of the day.
3. He looks surprised.
Yes, we have the Breen. I can't remember the name of either of the other 2, but I list them off.
The Gerger in the. Let's do this. Okay.
But the Gerger and the Poopy McPoopersons from Poop Town,
Orcs.
and the
Baroka, that's what it was.
the Baroka are both interested parties in this sector, and they also will be helping decide on what course of action shall be taken in this sector.
He looks a little surprised, but he's like, oh, this is turning into quite the little conference, isn't it?
It indeed is.
Very well. Since we're still waiting, Ensign, perhaps you would be willing to give us a tour of the ship?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, of course, I'd be happy to. I will warn you, there are some places on the ship that will be restricted, but I can, show you around some of the more, scenic areas.
Yes, of course. Wouldn't want you to divulge any, or inadvertently divulge any state secrets.
I will smile at the 3 of them in the most diplomatic manner and then go, and if you need my assistance, I am just a communication. I'm just a communication away. It was it, ladies, gentlemen, and I'll give kind of a nod and leave.
Okay. I think the Baroka show up next. In 2 of their big ass ships, almost cube sized.
Holy crap. 2?
2.
When that happens, I'm actually going to put a call into the ambassador ship and maybe request like another ship to be here on backup
The ambassador?
for this.
What-
The admiral.
Oh.
Admiral ship.
Yeah, you're on your own. There's nobody else that can get here in time.
Okay. Just it's 4 against 1.5. Because that's an old Klingon ship.
That is an old Klingon ship.
All right.
All right, indeed. So the Baroka hail.
On screen.
Oh God, what did I call this guy? Zhup. He is Baroka. I am Nagusta, captain of the Titan's Fist.
Hello, Nagusta. I am Captain Demore of the USS Percival. Glad to have you.
We've heard of you.
I imagine you have.
All right. So our is he tactful? He's not tactful. Our allies, the Breen, have asked us to be present at this negotiation.
And we agreed to this. If you would like to send one ambassador to our ship, we will be glad to accept them.
I will beam over personally. Be ready to receive me.
Okay. Who wants this one?
Nobody's jumping at that.
Who doesn't have a thing yet? Well, Vivek is very busy. Doctor, you're gonna have fun with this guy.
You're muted.
Eversoul, muted.
I was
Meet
talking
me
to
in the
myself all this
transporter
time.
room.
Sorry. Yes, Captain. How may I help?
Meet me in the transporter room. I'm assigning you envoy duty for one of our guests.
Right away. And he'll put the trolls down and head right over.
Yeah, so you get to the transporter room and the non-commissioned officer, a petty officer of some rank, it's like, "Sir, I'm sorry. I'm trying to lock on, but for some reason the transporter system won't let me engage."
Engage where?
In the transport.
Where is he trying to go? Is what I'm trying to ask.
No, he's trying to beam the Baroka captain over.
Yeah, just we'll send them the coordinates and let them do the teleportation.
They don't have teleporters.
Oh, they don't? Is he flying over?
Well, he was hoping to be beamed over.
Oh. Are their shields still up?
No, their shields are not up.
Captain, we are having problems locking onto you. Do you have some kind of dampening field?
Negative? Is your Federation technology not up to the task?
I roll my eyes and I know he can't see it, but it happens anyway. Please stand by, and I will look at the commissioned officer and then Ever and then say, science officer, Vivek, are we having our contact down to Vivek? Are we having problems with the transporters?
Don't think so. Let me check the systems.
Yeah, I mean, you tap a few things and the diagnostic comes up. Everything is working as it should be.
Can I check?
Can I assist by using the sensors to see what could possibly go wrong?
I'm gonna try and determine what's happening. I'm gonna do a roll.
Okay. Difficulty is 3. You are Vivek, so that's going to be control, engineering, focus on transporters and replicators. No, I'm sorry. This is reason, because you're trying to figure out what the problem is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what.
I'm sorry?
So isn't a technical problem with the ship, right? Yeah,
It is,
the ship.
it is not a technical problem with the ship.
Okay.
But difficulty there.
3?
3. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna add a momentum. Okay, so 16, double on a 5.
There's 3.
Yeah, there is 3.
There's 3.
And the ship, too.
And the ship. No help.
Nope.
So the problem is a matter of scale. The transporters aren't engaging because if the sensors are to be believed, the Baroka are almost 50 feet tall each.
What?
They are
Captain?
gigantic.
Well, let's
Wow.
Captain. According to the sensors, the Broker are 50 feet tall, so I don't know what you want to do about that.
I will communicate back and be, we've discovered the source of the problem. You are too tall to fit.
That's heistist.
Fortunately, our ships are designed for those of approximately 1.5 to 3 meters.
Uh, so we
Meet
can't
in the
beam
cargo hold,
over.
maybe.
Yeah,
Well, we
move the dinner to the cargo hold.
Could they fit in the cargo hold?
I don't think they could even fit in the car. I mean, 50 feet is 5 stories,
Yeah.
which makes their ship a lot smaller in retrospect.
Captain, may I suggest another course of action?
Please.
Perhaps I could be beamed over to their ship to assist on the negotiations instead.
They are here to arbitrate. They need to be here to listen. Would you be opposed to an open communication during these proceedings?
Teleconference.
Yeah.
We would have to. We will agree. However, the instant that we feel like we are being dismissed or we feel like we do not have a voice because we are not physically present, we will withdraw and we will withdraw and not agree to abide by any decisions that are made.
Do you have a holodeck on board?
A what?
Obviously not. We can agree to those terms.
Very well. I will await your communication.
All right. I look at I Everoth or Eversoul and go, well, it looks like you're going to be getting the Jujar instead when they
So-
arrive.
Sorry, what does that mean, out of character?
The third arbitrating party, you're going to be their
Ah.
liaise.
All right, Captain.
I guess
Well,
we'll
then
wait
I
for
have-
them.
I
Unless
have
anyone
to
else.
say, 50-foot people sound quite fascinating for study.
I don't think they would appreciate that.
Yeah.
But indeed, for let's make a mental note to never face them on on ground skirmishes.
Yeah. So the Jujar send their I mean, it's like their trade representative because that's who's most used to this sort of situation. And that person's name was Keho. Ko.
Ah, Ko, it is lovely to see you again.
Uh, I have to admit that this is a bit outside of our normal purview. While we do have good relations with the Federation, you aren't our only client, and we don't really have any designs in this area of the region.
Yes, but we figured someone who the Breen have requested the Baroka
Baraka.
Baroka to be here in these negotiations, and we figured someone from the sector, a third member, would be a good idea.
He nods and is like, "Well, we absolutely owe you for your help with the tribbles. So, I'm here, but I can't, make any promises about sort of what sort of agreement my government would be willing to make."
Of course, and we wouldn't expect you to do such a thing. Mainly, we need you here as a third-party arbitrator, along with the Romulans and Broca.
Okay. Fair enough.
If you remember, this is Lieutenant Commander Eversole. He will be your envoy during your time here.
Pleasure to see you again.
Lieutenant Commander. Let's start with my quarters. You know, we had to travel pretty far to get here, and on very short notice. So I'd like some time to freshen up before any negotiations.
Of course, right over here. I hope your transportation has been proper.
Okay. So yeah, I think they leave in the midst of small talk. Is that?
I think James and the Klingon might deserve some time together.
Oh yes, that's true. James and the Klingon. Sounds like the title to a book.
Right?
So yeah, it's been a day. You've spent a day with this guy. What have you guys been doing?
Oh God, probably like in a holodeck having blood wine and laughing and fun and
Okay.
maybe he strolls along with me as I do my like security inspections and make sure to get that shit all set up as well.
That is a mighty weapon that you fired upon the Breen with. That not an ordinary phaser, is it?
Yeah, I like smile and shake my head.
May I see it?
It's classified, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's a prototype that, you know.
Super classified.
Yeah. I just look at him and I say, unfortunately, I can't. It is a very classified new piece of Starfleet tech that I'd love to show to you. Believe me, I'd love to show you our new phaser, but
So it is a phaser.
fuck.
It's like, come on, my friend. Our people are enemies, and we are friends, aren't we?
We are friends. We are, and it's just you gotta understand. If I showed it to you, and the captain caught me, I'd be hung by my thumbs. And though I am not afraid to be hung by my thumbs, I push the envelope enough that unfortunately I cannot take this risk.
What if I were to show you some technology or military secret of an equivalent value?
Okay.
What?
That was fast.
Okay. He takes you to the transporter room and asks the ensign to beam the two of you over to his ship.
This is our transporter to our left. Oh, Tonjot, how are you doing?
Yes.
Oh, right. So yeah, you're with. So now there's the Klingon, two Romulans, the Vulcan, and the Bajoran have all met in the hallway.
Ensign?
This is Commander IMEC and his adjunct, Sarah. Commander IMEC, this is our Commander Tonjot, our security officer.
And second in command.
And second in command, first of his name.
IMEC, reaches out. You know, wait. What's the traditional Bajoran greeting?
Grabbing each other's ears? No.
That's a more intimate thing. Okay. It might just be a polite nod, but whatever it is, like he gives it to you, and he does, the Klingon sort of like grabbing by the wrist instead of by the handshake.
Okay.
He's like, Captain, that's your ship out there? Yes, that's mine. The Katinga class, that's a little dated, is it not? And you kind of see Klingons can't blush, but they definitely get. He's definitely like uncomfortable, and I think Imek just continues when he doesn't say anything. He's like, I, on the other hand, have the latest refit of the Deridex Warbird. It's fresh off the line within the last 5 years. Disruptor banks with a power output that's probably higher than your power plant could produce for the entire ship. And Gopak is just like sitting there fuming as Imek is talking about how much better his ship is.
I do a kind of exaggerated, like, ooh, very impressive.
I will actually like interject right into there and just look that Romulan in the eye and just be like, well, if you'll excuse us, I would like to go take a look at that small ship. Because it is a mighty vessel, crewed by a mighty crew.
Would this be some kind of role?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Tanjut. Let's
You
do
want presence command? Presence.
Yeah, presence command.
Daring command?
No, it's definitely presence.
Just presence. Yeah, I guess presence command would be best.
Well, what's the difficulty?
He says after he throws the dice.
Yeah.
I usually go with the standard base of 2, so that would have earned you a momentum. And
because that composure would be a good focus for that.
Yeah. So I think you don't really sway Imek at all, but you earn some points with Gopak at least. Like the Klingons will appreciate you.
May I roll insight on Kopak?
Gopak?
I just want to read the room a little bit.
Gopak. Yes.
Yeah. Just insight presence, I think, insight command, just to sort of see, like, I'm thinking, like, I didn't know that Commander Tanjat was going to go over to the Klingon ship.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, nothing special here, no focus. I'm just trying to see if I read anything into the subtext. Oh.
God damn.
I think you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So gain us some momentum, I assume.
Yeah, no focus, but that's still 1, 2, 3. So there's 1. Yeah. So I think that there's certainly some amorous intention here, and I think that being humiliated in front of this subject of amorous intent is incredibly demeaning for him, and he's embarrassed not about his ship, but about being taken down a peg in front of Tanjat.
I read the intent of well, I want to know if I read anything into Tanjat, like, exchanging information about weaponry.
I mean, there's nothing to read for that.
Oh yeah, there's definitely no weaponry.
What do you mean?
I mean, that was an excuse to get Tanjat into his quarters.
Oh. I see. Okay. Um,
I have totally just created a little fangirls fan fiction.
Yes.
yeah, I was just...
I'd like to point out that you're the fangirl too.
Yeah, yeah. So
Um,
I was just pointing it out.
yeah, so I think I'll say to Commander IMAC, I say, well, in my experience with the Klingon, even when they don't have the latest weaponry, their ferocity in combat, mm, well, I tremble to think what they could I tremble to think the effect they could unleash upon the galaxy if their might were to be combined with Romulan technology. We might not all stand a chance.
It's already been combined with Romulan technology. He kind of sneers. He's like, the fact that they even have cloaking devices is because we gave them to the Klingons. Their biggest military advantage, and it came from another race. He kind of snorts and starts walking down the hallway.
Right. Oh, let me show you our medical bay then, where we provide crew and guests alike with the utmost care and, of course, our unparalleled bedside manner.
All right.
As he storms away, Tanjot will like look over to whoever's in the room and like, what an ass.
Nobody's going to disagree with that. All right, so
Tanjot is in this weird position where he doesn't have to play politics as hard right now.
Phrasing. All right, so while you beam over to the Chalnagup to play politics hard with Go Pack, who do we bounce to next?
Should I roll like a daring athletics or
No.
whatever?
I draw the line at rolling for sex.
Oh, it could be to not break a bone, actually.
Oh
Yeah,
God, yeah, they
yeah,
are pretty.
Fitness to
I know what I
survive
was
that
thinking.
encounter.
Like this is akin to a wrestling match.
Fitness, security. Okay, no, no, you're not. No. Moving on. We will leave it up to the viewer's imagination.
We'll just say that Tanjot comes back into the next scene and he's got a couple of bruises on the face
And teeth marks.
and teeth marks.
Okay. God.
But if there's any Klingons there, I want to do that.
Okay.
Before we move on, I do
Yeah.
want to check in with the preparations with our two event planners.
Oh, right, yeah. So Rick has gone full out, and instead of any real kind of fusion, he's just he's put together a world-class buffet with not just stuff from this group's planets, but like delicacies and interesting food from around the galaxy, or at least the quadrant, the Alpha Quadrant. And I guess part of the beta too. So they, yeah. The conference room I think was probably too small for everybody plus their aides.
I mean, I assume we've just taken over 10 forward or whatever it is.
I'm sorry, guys.
Can I borrow $10 for cover?
I don't think I have any cash.
You do.
Sultry music
So
playing.
you already went through my
Cutaway
wallet.
scene. You're not muted, Colin.
Take whatever you need. Jesus. Okay. All right. Yes. So you had to take over like an auxiliary room of some sort. I feel like Starfleet vessels just have these rooms that are like, what do we need? We need a conference room. Okay, we'll knock out these 3 walls and expand it out.
I mean, they also just have. It seems like Starfleet ships are just designed to have all the extra space ever.
Yeah. Yeah, they are not efficient, but they are comfortable.
So yeah, okay. We have like an extra special big conference room or something like that.
Yes, you have put together the Baroka have a big screen on one wall where they can look. There is a volume control and a mute on that screen if you need it.
But yeah, I'll poke in and they say, "How are we doing?"
Rick's like, this might be my biggest achievement ever. And you look and like the tables, like everything's at right angles. There's place cards with everybody's name. There's a centerpiece, like a floral centerpiece. There's the buffet. He's like, I have never hosted a negotiations before, but this is. He's like, obviously he's beaming. She's a little more reserved, but she's like, all of the food and placards and seating arrangements were were specifically picked to avoid unpleasantness. So there's nothing here that should offend anybody. The view from the Baroka view screen shows the entire room, and there's the additional sound pickups, so they shouldn't miss anything. She's like, I think we're ready, honey.
Excellent. Quick question for mechanics. Would this be a NPC role for a, what do you call it? An assist?
I'm gonna go ahead and say no, because that would sort of fall under the diplomatic suites talent that some ships have.
Okay.
I think this is just a base 0 starting point, right? Like you have everybody starting off on the right foot.
That makes sense. I just wanted to check to see if mechanically how things work sometimes. Awesome. Excellent, because we are definitely going to need all the help help we can get. I would also like to request that you both be here during negotiations. I could definitely use a counselor and someone of your talent. I can never remember his name.
Rick.
During such a auspicious occasion. I can speak. God, I can't today. What's going on?
Auspicious occasion.
Thank you.
Sure thing.
That word.
Absolutely, sir. Whatever you want. And she nods assent.
Excellent. I'll give her a quick hug and then give a nod, a "you did good, kid" nod to Rick, and then that's all I need to do.
All right. Anybody else have things they need to do before we start negotiations?
I would like to get to know Commander Amick a little bit better.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that he would mostly be trying to get as much information from him by flattering his ability to recover the colony's production successfully and keeping his word as helping us after we aid them. Mostly trying to get as much information to how his project worked down on his planet.
So you're schmoozing.
Yes.
Yeah, if you guys you're trying to influence them before the negotiations.
Yeah.
Sora?
Oh, sorry.
So, yeah, same. I wouldn't mind if Ebersol and I both had like a quick little interaction with our guys.
Perfect. It's tough for me to play more than one NPC at once, just mentally. But
you can go with Sora first.
No.
Yeah.
But I think if you guys all meet in the hallway,
I think they were doing it independently while they
Yeah.
were showing people around and stuff.
Okay, so when the two of you, okay, I can handle that. So let's start with the Jurger. Um, so let me ask you this, Everoth. How do you feel about the fact that he is constantly talking about the tribal eradication program?
He feels concerned, but he is grateful to have kept a bunch on his side for that same reason, because he does not like that sort of way of thinking. But it's his planet. He has nothing but right now to smooth him. He will leave that for later. Again.
Okay. So yeah, he's talking about, they've had good success with poisoning and leaving bait out, and sort of letting that poison. They found a specific strain that will also kill the tribbles in utero. That plus the disease that you yourself designed, have allowed them to take the tribble population down to where it's not threatening, a global famine anymore.
They're like mice problems now.
Mhm.
Or maybe that raccoon that comes out into the field and steals like 6 ears of corn a night.
There you go.
Trash pandas.
Yeah. So, to get on his good side, what are you talking about?
Well, I find it fascinating that you were able to provide such a incredible poison for that solution. It is magnificent. What sort of chemicals do you act in this way? Trying to get him to talk more about it and brag about his projects.
Okay. Go ahead and roll presence science, and it's going to be countered by his insight, I guess also science.
Could I use medical science as my focus?
Whatever, there's a focus that'll work specifically because you're the one that wrote that disease. So like
Okay.
yeah, you have a focus.
And feel free to use momentum for this because it's
Uh,
basically creating an advantage for us, equivalent.
Okay. How many successes do I need?
It's opposed.
It's a versus.
Oh, I'll take one momentum then. And I'm rolling.
Yeah, you've
That's-
won him over.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yeah, so he
Sorry.
Oh right. Sorry, I'm just gonna make a note here that just put one
Schmoozed. Flattered.
Oh no, it's not an advantage. It's
No. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So he's definitely seeing the Federation in a more positive light. Tesora
Yes.
and Romulan Imek. Okay. What does your conversation with Imek look like?
Yeah, so I say, so, Commander Imek, what noble pursuits captivate the interest of a man like you when you're not busy assuming the burdensome weight of command?
Gosh. This far away from the Empire, I'm afraid that there's not many opportunities to get away from my command. That said, I am a study of other cultures and how their how their military history influences their decision making in the present.
Ah. Yeah, I wonder if I say something maybe to the effect of, fascinating. I too am interested in the ways that a culture's history can impact their understanding of the universe. Of course, I am not as well versed, I'm sure, in military matters, but I say I venture. Maybe I venture out. Do you perchance have an interest in archaeology?
I'm afraid not. I'm more of a scholar.
Ah, okay, a scholar. Um, hmm. Okay, maybe I don't see an angle necessarily. So,
I mean, you could probably take it from a command science angle of like bringing up like or literary things that you personally don't know in the universe.
you know what I'm going to do? Momentum, walking encyclopedia, Romulan customs.
Okay.
And so he's really just so he's into what, ancient battles?
Yeah, I mean, so he'll read military. Like he could probably talk about, the Battle of Waterloo, and then like the political and sociological ramifications, for the next 100 years. But he could do that for multiple major races. Maybe he might have even written a dissertation at some point on the Andorians and the Vulcans and their centuries long conflict.
Okay. And I assume they have. I wonder, is there something in the way that we have those little consciences in the holodecks that could maybe create a more impressive display than he might be used to in his holodeck, you know?
Um, Maybe in like they could do better in interpersonal reactions, but as far as like immersion, one holodeck is pretty much like another.
Okay.
I mean, this time sounds like the kind of guy you could just talk to for an hour and a half about whatever thing and get on his good side.
Yeah, so the idea is that you will use your presence plus whatever discipline you think is the best one to approach him with.
Yeah, so you know what? I'll talk about I want to talk about so maybe I can jabber on about small crafts, maybe, like, or like I maybe talk about like ships, because I know con, so maybe presence, con, Romulan customs, something about like their the design history of their ships, because if he just likes talking about ships, I'll talk about ships, you know.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make your roll.
Okay. um
I mean, we have those momentums. Feel free to use them.
yeah, I'll do one more momentum and roll 3 here. Yeah, here we go. Oof.
1, 2, 3, 4 for him. What'd you get?
2.
2. Yeah, 2.
Okay. Yeah, so he manages to say a whole lot without saying a damn thing.
That's fine. I think maybe what happened, I think I just maybe bore him a little bit. And I just say, well, I think we're getting on in time. Perhaps we should head to the assembly.
I'm gonna take a moment and beef up our security firewalls, basically.
Kind of already have that security
Oh yeah,
role out
that's
there.
right. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, you're right.
What else you got going on? Since everybody else has got a buddy.
I would have
don't have
given
a
you a
buddy?
buddy if the other person wasn't like 50 feet tall.
No, I don't mind. Maybe I can work on that. I can work on.
I mean, if you want to scan some folk, go crazy.
We have all these ships that arrived. Like what you said, a second Breen ship arrived.
Yeah, there are 2 Breen ships, 2 Baroka ships, 1.
Oh, wait, you're getting a buddy when the Breen come on.
Well, there you go. Yeah, 2 Breen ships, 2 Baroka ships, 1 Romulan ship, and 1 Klingon ship. And a partridge in a pear tree.
But yeah, if we want to do the Breen coming on, he gets a buddy.
There we go. All right.
Commander Vivek to transporter room 3,
You only have 2 transporter rooms.
transporter room 2.
Let me just make the third one, then I'll get there.
Yeah. Okay, so you. Oh my god. You could totally turn any holodeck into a transporter room.
Pretty much.
Okay, that has some interesting implications for like emergency transporters. But I'm not going to run down that particular rabbit hole right now. Okay. So, yeah, Relk Beck. Relk is their rank, it's equivalent to captain. He transports on board he's big for a Breen, like almost barrel chested, 2.5-ish meters tall. All Breen. Oh god, I haven't been sending any pictures. Enemy ships, Federation ship, combat. Oh god. Let's just go all. Oh, apparently, I have pictures of all their ships and none of them. So, yes. Does Breen? I should.
Google search Breen.
Yeah.
Most of us have seen them though.
Yes, but viewers, people in the future, you never know.
Google Breen.
Well, they look like Leia in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
There you
they
go.
do actually. Back over to here, and then here, and voila, Breen. They come from a. It's believed that they come from a very cold planet. Nobody's seen their planet. Nobody has seen one of them outside of their suits, their refrigeration suits. They tend to use a lot of slave labor. But yeah, so that's why it's hard to tell one Breen apart from the other, is they all wear those same damn suits. So, there you go. That is Relk Beck. And, Beck greets you
And that horrible noise they
coldly,
make.
but yes, they do make a horrible noise. I screwed up my computer's audio when I tried to download something that would change my voice to that for this scene specifically. So you will just have to imagine his voice changed by a filter as he says, "Captain, I am Relk Beck. Please direct me to the conference room."
It is this way, and this is, while you're aboard, your envoy, Commander Vivek.
He does not even acknowledge Vivek and walks down the hallway.
Just show him to the.
As he starts walking, I look and say, "Have fun, Vivek."
Show him to the conference room. Keep my eye on him, but
All right, he steps into the room and he sort of looks around.
And I'm gonna beep real quick, Commander Tonjot. We need you and your and the captain in the room immediately.
Cut to a quick shot of Tanja doing what?
You might be muted there, James.
Where am I?
I'm asking you.
What's going on? I'm sorry.
I requested you back in the conference is starting.
Oh. I get dressed quickly in the quarters of a Klingon captain, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. So they comes running from the direction of the torpedo room. Hair's kind of a mess. Klingon's hair always look like that, so you don't really need to worry about how he looks.
I look like I just got into a fight.
I'll give you the side eye when you enter, but then I'll take a seat. And I go, Captain.
To which captain are you referring?
To the one who just entered.
Okay, the
I see.
Klingon. Captain.
Captain.
Yeah, there's a moment of Captain. Captain
Captain.
Relk.
Captain.
Commander.
Commander, Captain,
Captain from the screen. Captain Relk.
Commander.
Commander.
Doctor.
Ensign!
McLeod.
Okay. And so after like a
Shepherd.
okay, so after an awkward moment of greetings, everybody sits down. I think as the host, you should probably set the direction and tone for this meeting.
Well, we are gathered today because there are 3 legitimate claims on this system by 3 independent parties: the Klingons, the Breen, and the Federation. To avoid further conflicts in this matter, we have convened to discuss the future of this system and colonies that will be involved.
The Romulan leans forward. He's like, he starts and he's like, Captain, if I may, I feel like there's a little bit more at stake here than just one system. Several of the races present have been making designs on expanding into this region of the Alpha Quadrant, and as long as we are all in this room and to keep conflict to a minimum, I move that we discuss a broader approach to colonization.
I'll smile at him with that. I knew you were going to pull this bullshit smile and go, if I am not opposed to that, if the Breen ambassador is not.
He nods his head.
Adjuncts?
They don't really get a say in anything.
I mean, they're here to, you include them.
Who's an adjunct? Are we talking about the other, the Judger and the?
I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
okay.
and the other races who expressly said that they would get offended and take their ball and go home if they
Yes.
didn't feel included.
The Veroka and the Jurger. That was it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The Baroka's like, as long as our interests are fairly represented, we would be willing to discuss the use of other systems in our space. And the Jurger trade representative is a little out of his element, but he's like, while I can't, speak for the end result of any decisions made by my government, I'm fairly confident that I can say that we would be willing to discuss any suggestions that would lead to or lead us away from open conflict in the region.
Excellent. We're all agreed. So I think we shall begin negotiations. Does anyone have anything to bring to the floor immediately?
Tanja, your communicator beeps, and everybody in the room turns to look at you.
I quickly recuse myself and answer it.
Commander, this is Lieutenant Bomox on the bridge.
Yes, Lieutenant?
The Cardassians are here, sir.
Of course they are.
All right. Beam an envoy aboard, or beam their diplomatic party aboard. I'll meet them at Transporter Bay 2.
Are you
And then
gonna
I'll-
tell the captain?
And then I lean into the captain and say, just so you're not surprised, I'm gonna escort a group of Cardassian that just showed up to this meeting.
My eyes just kind of pop go wide for a second, and then I look at you and go, but then very quickly compose myself and like straighten up and say, I hate to say this as soon as things started underway, but we may need to take a quick 5 minute. It seems another interested party has just arrived.
I think everybody's like a little. What?
And then I'll go get them.
Yeah. So
And I'll meet them outside.
they
the-
materialize, and this is. God, what? Here we go. Relations tracker. Cardassians. This is Gul Raul and his Glyn, whose name I don't remember, who arrested you
Gul
for war
Jesus.
crimes like 2 months ago.
This guy.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, Commander! Lovely to see you again. Smiling like
Yes.
a wolfish smile.
Quite. The meeting's already begun. You're late. Follow me.
So as he's following you, he's like, I can't help but notice that I had to deal with a lieutenant in order to even be allowed on board your ship.
Well, priorities.
I am waiting outside the conference room.
All right, yeah, he walks up and he's like, Captain,
Goal.
I must protest. Why were the Cardassians excluded from these very important negotiations?
You are welcome to join. We just did not know that you were an interested party in this matter.
What you're negotiating is going to change the balance of power in the entire quadrant. Why wouldn't the Cardassians be interested?
Because they're still licking their damn wounds. Ha!
I was actually about to say something. I did not know the Cardassians were the Cardassian civilian empire was, or what did they, democratic empire or democratic?
I think they're led
government?
by a council of some sort now.
The Cardassian Council was ready to expand. If that is indeed the case, then again, they are welcome to join these negotiations. I'll give him a very pleasant smile.
Are you trying to are you trying to change how he feels right now, or are you
You know what? I am playing nice. So yes, I am trying not to have him be pissed anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it didn't help that he came on board this ship, was greeted by a lieutenant, and then a Bajoran who talked shitty to him.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay,
We don't think highly of him.
Tara. Let's do presence command, and he's gonna do insight command.
And diplomacy, I assume.
Yes.
I'm burning a thingy. All right. Presence command, you said?
Yeah, and he's doing
So
insight, so yours is 2 higher than his.
16.5.
Oh!
I am actually going to use discipline. It can save your life on my determination to reroll.
Okay.
Oh no, I got the rolls mixed up. I thought that was theirs.
All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 to his 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, he will take you up, but I don't think you.
I didn't piss him off more.
That is very, very true. You did not piss him off more. Yeah, we've been going for 2 hours. So why don't we put a pin in this for a few minutes and come back to the actual negotiations. Right, it's Star Trek Adventures Pathfinder on the Kobold Cafe, and we'll be back in 3 minutes.
3 minutes, yeah.
All right, and we are back. And before we start the actual negotiations, a word of, if not warning, then I guess just a general heads up that the balance of power, or maybe more accurately, the battle lines in this area are sort of going to be drawn during these negotiations. So there are some pretty large repercussions at stake here. Don't screw it up. Okay.
I have an idea of how I want it to go. That would be terrible for everyone involved, and I love it.
Okay. So, once again, Captain Demore, as sort of the leader, or I guess the host of the negotiations, I think it's sort of the expectation of your position that you start things off. So you don't have to make a first-person speech if you don't want, but I would like you to sort of lay out your view of the goals of this conference.
All right. So, in the past, when new territories have opened up to forces such as ours, and I point to everyone around the table, there violence can ensue very quickly without proper treaties and rules laid out, as proven already. I believe we are all in agreement to stop a future conflict from arising from this situation. There needs to be guidelines set up for all parties involved. And I kind of look around the table for a quick, general, nods or whatever, but I'll keep going. And I believe that should be the focus of this conference, to avoid future conflicts.
I think it's Gopak who speaks up, and he's like, if the Breen had minded their own business and accepted the fact that we had claimed this planet first, we wouldn't be in this mess. Why do we need to bow to an arbitrary set of rules that appeal to the lowest common denominator? I feel like, I think that whoever has the strength and the, oh God, what's the word that Klingons use for balls?
Honor.
I don't know. He says something. Yeah, right. He says something glottal in Klingon. Whoever has the strength in all of us to take a planet should be able to put a colony wherever they want.
And that has led us to the previous war, or the conflict between, I'll look at the Klingons and the Cardassians at the table and say, between your two people, and it weakened all of us for an invading Dominion attack. Who knows what lays deeper in this quadrant? Do we really wish to weaken ourselves again for such a mighty threat? Potential threat?
I think the Romulan sits forward. He's like, "Are you proposing a mutual alliance between all of us? Some sort of a defense pact?"
I was proposing to not get in a shooting war and weaken ourselves for such an event. But if a defensive pact is indeed on the table from the Romulan Empire, I would not be opposed to such a monumental treaty signing.
I think the Romulan ambassador to the United Federation of Planets might have something to say if a lowly commander were to go behind his back for such a thing. I can negotiate in good faith for the disposition of Romulan forces in this region, but no more.
And I am in the same position.
Okay, so it's the Breen who speaks up next. He, they,
It?
I think
They,
I think they, yeah. So the Breen, we have negotiated with the Baroka for possession of this system. They had placed the claim on it long before any race, us included, began making designs on this region. With all due respect to Mr. Gopak's honor, why shouldn't we terraform a planet that we have already had dealings for?
As I am aware, I have met with the Baroka in this sector before, and they have no anything in this system.
The Baroka have placed a claim. This is actually the Baroka. The Baroka own all systems within 32 light years of our home system. And that's like a sector and a half in every direction. That is a huge claim. That would not be like China claiming the South China Sea is theirs, beyond the 10 nautical mile maritime exclusion zone thing. That would be like China saying that they own the Indian Ocean.
Okay. That is a substantial sector, including, I assume, other colonized planets, Colin?
Sure.
Including other colonized planets, and I believe the inhabitants of those sectors would beg to differ with you. And again, let us try to avoid a shooting, getting into open conflict with each other over such things.
Afraid you won't be as lucky a second time around?
I'll look at him. I'm getting the idea that these guys are all they're the Klingons on steroids about show no fear, that kind of thing.
Perhaps. If only you had some sort of a xenoanthropologist you could study or make that sort of call.
Well, she's in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a hint.
I might chime in with I want to chime in with a quip, and I don't know if it'll be effective, but I'm gonna say, well, I believe we've all negotiated with all manner of parties in the sector here and there. Some honorable, some less honorable. The Rapu Consortium and Nausicaan pirates. Yet I think all parties with a legitimate interest in this sector are assembled here. So why not hash it out while we're all assembled finally and focus on negotiations that we face in the present rather than whatever we may have been engaged in the past?
The Baroka don't actually react to that, but the Breen do. The Rapu Consortium.
That was my intention.
The Rapu Consortium was a legitimate business enterprise that we had several successful dealings with, and the fact that their ship was attacked by the Federation is one of the reasons that we were so reluctant to engage with you about any sort of colonization in this area. If you'll attack a commercial vessel, in an ambush attack, what's to say that you won't do the same to a colony?
A colony does not engage in biological warfare nor mining operations of a peaceful planet. And I'll kind of nod to the Japu and like parties involved at this very table felt the scorn of the consortium's wrath.
I think the Romulan chimes in. He's like, if I recall from my intelligence briefings, while you suspected the Rapu Consortium, you were never able to prove they had a hand in that or any of the other events in this sector.
Can I roll a diplomacy at this point?
Who are you rolling against? And I will tell you if you can or not.
I want to get the Romulans on our side.
How are you doing that?
I want to present as much unclassified information as I can to the table and sway them that this was indeed not an ambush, but a tactical maneuver that would be done by such a noble group or like Tal Shiar. I'm pulling Tal Shiar bullshit on them.
Okay, so this is a opposed roll. You are arguing the facts, and Relk Beck is sort of arguing with deception.
Can I chime in for just a second?
Yeah.
Is there anything that the Rapu Consortium was engaged in business-wise, just trade, like their whole deal, that would be morally objectionable to Romulan customs?
Morally objectable.
Like whether or not they engaged in violence, we all know what was going on that ship.
So it sounds like you're trying to assist.
I'd like to assist with the appeal that this agreement is also going to have to set down rules for what kind of business is considered legitimate in our sector, and we're going to have to decide do people like the Rapu Consortium who trade in the vices that they trade in, are they going to have free reign over or free presence in our markets, that kind of thing?
I would argue that those are always going to be around, but I see what you're saying. So, Demore, you're going to use presence security.
Okay.
Persuasion,
espionage.
Let's broaden this a little bit and go presence command. I know it's the same score, but not espionage, but diplomacy or persuasion. I guess in this case it's persuasion.
And I'm going to
assisted by Tesora's presence. I guess also command.
Yeah, it's not my specialty, but I got the focus in Romulan customs, so maybe there might be something there. But
okay. And then Relk Beck is rolling his presence command, composure, negotiation. So he's at a 15-5.
I'm at a 16-5. And I just want to check something real quick.
What's that?
I'm just poking over my... Whenever a character spends a moment to... Okay, that doesn't help. Nope. I was just checking my my things. And I haven't been rolling my whatchamajigget veteran.
Oh yeah, go ahead and roll that
All the-
d6.
For the previous one?
Well, because you only have one determination, you already spent it. All right, so you get that
Oh,
determination back at least.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. And roll. Yeah.
Ooh.
Hey!
Oh.
And that's in my focus.
For
yeah.
me, that is a 5.
5, 6, 7. To his 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. Yeah, so I feel like Beck's arguments that, the Rapu Consortium was a, legitimate business enterprise kind of falls on deaf ears. Romulans traditionally have pretty good intelligence networks, and Romulan brain. Oops. And it's pretty obvious that yeah, he's not changing his mind.
So how did we get 7
Yes.
to his 2? So we got 5.
Yes.
Okay. How much is it to gain information?
To obtain information?
Yeah.
As long as it's related to the previous roll, it's just negative. It's just 1 momentum.
Would you allow a gathering information of what the Romulans are really after?
No.
Okay, just checking. Cool.
All right.
We can move on.
All right, and then Romulan Federation. Okay, cool.
So, wait, what did that roll end up accomplishing then?
They convinced. They were arguing with the. It was basically using evidence against the argument that the Rapu Consortium wasn't a business enterprise that was actually, working for somebody against the interests of the Federation. And so the Romulans did not believe that. So basically the Romulans are going to side a little bit more with the Federation going forward.
So we successfully neutralized Breen propaganda, but we have not won the affection of the Romulans.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
All right.
Unless we can't make an advantage for.
As long as it's related to the roll.
Romulans in our corner or something?
No, because that's
discredited Breen.
You can't. Yeah, so that's more like it, because you have to. You can't change the outcome of the roll by throwing an advantage up there. But yeah, discredited Breen, I like.
Yeah, there we go.
One question.
Yeah.
Sorry. Who was the race that used the virus? Were they allied with the Raku Consortium?
That happened in the past, but that was the Sona, and they were allied with the Breen and the Dominion during the Dominion War. Okay,
so that would be a part then. Nothing I can think about yet.
But the Rapu Consortium did put those tribbles on the planet, right?
Yes. Well,
they did put life in danger.
You believe so, but you weren't able to find any evidence besides circumstantial.
Oh,
But-
okay.
Yeah.
But
Discredit the Breen, but now we have the advantage. Discredit Breen.
yes.
Cool.
Okay. So moving on, the Jurger representative is like, I for one would like to know, how you people, and he kind of gestures to the whole table, are going to avoid shooting at each
What
other
do you mean, you people?
in the future, when obviously even just sitting here at a table, you cannot communicate with each other without arguing.
Our esteemed Jar colleagues brings up a good point. Maybe we should get back on task.
The Klingon is Gopak stands up. He's like, I agree. I was the first ship in this system, and I believe that, you know, the right to colonization of at least one of these 3 planets should fall to me.
Any opposed?
And then I'm going to go. And I'm going to actually agree with him. I believe one of these planets indeed is rightfully the Klingon Empire's.
Gul Raul of the Cardassians stands up, and he's like, is that just how we're going to do this? Every time that somebody wants the planet, we're going to figure out who called dibs first?
Do you have a different structure in mind?
I propose the creation of a blue ribbon panel that will look at all of the potential colony sites for the races present, and award them based on the merits for each.
And then I'm definitely placating at this point and trying to regain face. That is an exquisite idea, Gull.
He holds up a pad and, you know, does something, and, you know, the holographic display in the center of the room kind of kicks on, and he's like, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 systems within, we'll say, a 40 light year diameter, all of which have one or more unoccupied M-class planets. The Copa system is there. The other ones that you guys have seen are the Pelipo system, the Ozam system, and I think that's it. But there are 7 on there that either you or other Federation ships have surveyed in the last 9 months.
Can I? Okay. Is the system where that crystal entity was hunting, is it among their list?
Yes, it is.
Don't tell him.
No, I'm going to sell them on it. If you're not cheating, you're not trying hard enough.
Oh my god. Okay.
I okay. I would like to. What would this be? I mean, it would probably be like present science, maybe.
Who are you trying to sell the planet to?
Oh, I'm trying to sell it to the Cardassians. I say, well, there's a perfectly good system right there that I'm, you could, like I would rattle off like the resources that we found there and say, those are less valuable to us in the in the Federation. I think we'd all be, you could probably, it's a fixer upper, but like you could do something there.
Okay, so let's see. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh wow. Okay, so there's 10.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Okay, I didn't plan this, but there are 10 habitable planets represented in those 7 systems,
Mm-hmm.
and there are 5 races. if you guys wanted to, you could like break out into little groups and award each, or award, but you could divvy up 2 planets to each of the 5 races negotiating here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how anybody else feels about that, but I want to make sure that like the Cardassians end up with like that system, and like maybe the one that generates ghosts when you use like technology. Or
That one doesn't have an M class.
oh, okay.
Also,
And-
it wasn't the planet; it was the cloaking device.
Right. Oh, okay.
Although we should try to sell that. No.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm tempted to like fudge the surveys a little bit and make like the 2 most dangerous possible systems sound like a good idea for them.
Don't screw with my people that hard.
Okay. Let's do it like this, actually. Okay, so Copa has 3 planets, right? There's the warmest one is closest. You know, that's where the fighting was. It's very tropical. There's a temperate one that is ideal for planting. Very slow rotational speed. That's sort of the middle one out. The third one at Copa is it's an M-class planet or an M-class moon that's in orbit around a gas giant. The biggest advantage for that planet is there's a lot of like mineral wealth there to be tapped. The disadvantage is it has long and sort of irregular night periods because it's in orbit around a planet that is in orbit around the sun. So like it gets irregular sun. Let's just start with those 3.
I would like to either that one or the crops one, and I would like to get either the Romulans or the Cardassians. The other one, I do not want the Breen.
Okay, so you've decided that the Klingons should get Europe 2, right? The
Yeah.
innermost. Okay. Or Copa 2, rather. Okay.
Are we counting the Jurger as one of the races that's going to get colonies?
No.
No, they're just
Okay.
here to make everyone play nice.
Got it. So the races that are getting colonies are Klingons, Romulans, Cardassians. Who else?
Breen.
Breen. And the Federation.
And the
And
Federation.
us.
Okay.
All right, so the Romulans are more concerned with materials and less concerned with actually establishing ongoing colonies. They have more of a defense and mining interest. The Breen Breen. They do want to create colonies, but they also are looking to expand their mineral wealth because they control a smaller area than the Federation, but because their standing army is bigger as a percentage, they have a deeper need. The Cardassians are also looking for colonies. They have a lot of like battle damage still, entire cities that were decimated during the war. And so they have population that really they can't continue to sustain. So they're trying to sort of push them out into a colonization push. So how much do you guys want to give? Oh, and the Klingons. The Klingons want colonies and like forward operating bases for their military.
Well, if that's the case, I'm okay. I would be okay with if the Cardassians wanted the middle planet, or the and the Federation take the mining planet, or the Romulans take the mining planet, and the Federation takes the farming planet.
What about the Breen? Because they do feel like they have a stronger claim to this system.
Yeah, they can go pick one of the other two closer to their new buddies' territories.
So you're unwilling to budge at all on the Copa system for the Breen.
I mean, it's just gonna cause conflicts.
I feel like with the Klingons and the Romulans already here, maybe pushing, like, maybe not having the Breen in that mix. You know what I mean?
Any other thoughts, Tanjot, Vivek, Eversoul?
Not that I can think about right now.
Tanjot?
We get everybody together and we take on the Breen and tell them to fuck off.
Like, Damore is not opposed to that, but Federation would have my head, or the admiralship.
Okay, so the Breen
Is
are
there
losing out.
are there other material planets closer to these guys, to their new buddies?
I mean, there are other habitable planets that are closer. Yes. In fact, part of the reason why this one might be attractive to them is the fact that it's A, in your path, and B, would be a good staging area. If they were going to, because I mean, Breen are notorious raiders, and if they were going to raid this area, this would be a good strategic location from which to do it.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah,
I can make a roll if we want to get them to screw off.
Fuck them
But
specifically for that
fuck
reason.
them specifically, yeah.
I'm not gonna make you guys roll for all of this.
But that's my thing. If they can have the closer ones that are, good for their like mining operations closer to the buddies where it's not going to be like raiding every 10 freaking minutes, then let's do that, but screw the Breen.
Okay. And then the Cardassians are going to end up with the planet with the adolescent crystalline entity.
Unless you want the Breen to end up with it.
There's
But
other
if-
systems, though, right?
Yeah, there's other systems.
Yeah, that's just one of the 7
Yeah.
with one of the 10 planets. So
I would
if you
rather not screw over the
exclude-
Let's not
Okay.
fuck anybody if we don't have to.
So that'll
Well-
leave 9 planets, and that means somebody's not going to get 2.
Well, the Federation can. We would be able to, if anyone would be able to figure out how to deal with the crystalline entity without murdering it hardcore, it's us.
So you're taking the
what was
one
that
with
planet? What was that system?
the Ozam.
What was it? What was there?
What was that? 105? 107?
Like, I don't remember exactly what the planet was
It
there.
was growth factor, right?
Yeah, growth medium.
Growth medium. Yeah. I mean, we could keep that planet, and maybe, I mean, we could keep sciencing the heck out of it. Maybe there is a way to talk to that thing. Who knows?
8
I mean,
planets,
worst case
17
scenario-
moons, only 1 M-class planet.
And what was the M-class planet?
It was on the colder side, coniferous. It wouldn't make a bad prospect, but, it would be like agreeing to go and start a colony in Alaska. Like, it
See,
takes
the
a very
Breen-
specific kind of person to want to do that.
Oh, the
Breen like
Cardassians
the
would
cold?
not accept that planet.
They would
Yeah,
not.
send the Breen. They like the cold, right?
They do. They absolutely do.
Let's give them that one.
That was the one with the crystalline entity, though. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd rather
If
we
you
take
like cold
that one.
planets.
But, I'd rather we take it, not, we take one for the team for harmony, but it's up to you guys.
Tom, with your good, peaceful Federation way.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, and I like that thing.
No, see, I'm pouting because I definitely want it to cause
you
mischief.
can pound all you want, but we are the
Well-
Federation.
We'll take one for the team.
Take one for the Breen.
Okay. So you guys get the Ozim system.
and one of the planets in here. It's up to the Cardassians and Romulans to figure out who gets the other one in the system.
Okay, so the Klingons get the innermost one, the tropical
Yeah.
one. There's one that would be harder to live on, but with better resources, and there's one that is the other way around.
Yeah, we're looking for a colony, right?
Yes.
We're looking for people to live. So yeah, I think we'll try and go for the temperate one probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any
No,
objections?
I think that's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea. And then the
because we also have
Romulans
the Judger.
and the Romulans can do the mining thing, and then we will, and this was the former Dominion War Alliance. Let's keep building bridges if possible.
So I'm sorry, who are you giving the third planet to?
The Romulans.
The Romulans. Okay.
It's the original 3. The Ridge Tridge.
Yeah, Federation, Klingons, and Romulans. The three of you having a colony each around the same star. It's gonna work out fine, I'm sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's gonna
so
work out
terrible.
great.
Okay. We don't have to work out the disposition of all of the other systems yet. I can kind of do that behind the scenes, but let's just talk about real quick. On a scale. Okay, how about this? The Cardassians, the Breen, the Romulans, and the Klingons. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Tell me which of those 4. We're gonna rank them 1, 2, 3, 4 based on how much they get what they want. Okay, so who gets what they want the most out of those 4? Klingons, Romulan, Breen, Cardassians.
I think personally, my opinion is the Cardassians, because they just want to, not die.
I mean, I disagree, but whatever. You're the captain, but my feelings are definitely we should reward our friends. It should be the Klingons, the Romulans, the Cardassian. Maybe we treat them a little bit better than the Breen, but I am still extremely pissed off by what the Breen were doing with the Rapu Consortium, and I think this is our chance to establish, an alliance of people who aren't going to tolerate their shit.
Yeah, but also the Cardassians are my people.
And yeah, I have nothing to say out loud about that.
You don't have to have the conversation in character, but I'd like everybody to sort of
at
least put in their 2 cents.
How about this? I say Klingons, Cardassians, Romulans, Breen.
Klingons, Cardassians, Romulan, Breen. That's Tara's vote.
I honestly don't understand the politics yet, so I'm gonna have to support Tara with that.
That's fair.
Full support to the captain.
I mean, there's not a race listed there that the Federation has not been at war with at least once recently, within the last 50 years.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I can go with that.
Okay. Tanjot.
Yeah.
No other thoughts?
No.
Okay.
I don't think this is Tanjot's kind of episode.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that Tanjot is currently capable of fucking rational thought.
Right, Tesora.
Like I said, I favor treating the Romulans a little bit better than the Cardassians, and I think that's just I feel like you know where you stand with the Romulans, whereas I still have a little bit of sourness about the way that the Cardassians acted during that trial. And I'm also concerned that like that dude that was handed over to them like isn't even dead. He's just being tortured. But like, you know, if I'm overruled on that, I'm an ensign. You know, like, but that's my take on it.
Yeah, I think it's that order because like most of the group agreed.
Okay. So the Klingons are happy. The Cardassians are pleasantly surprised. The Romulans look unhappy. The Breen are screaming because they are being treated so unfairly.
They can suck it up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I think the conference sort of ends with when the Breen storm out, basically saying that they will not abide by the findings of this group because it completely ignores their needs in favor of basically like they're saying, oh, you guys got a voting block together, we were treated unfairly, our needs weren't listened to, you stacked the deck in your favor by pulling the Gerger in.
So the
Wah,
Republicans.
wah, 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 wah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they can.
well, we took a system with a with a life-eating rock in it, so
It's classified.
you're classified.
All right.
I will personally apologize to the Romulan since I've been his envoy. I when I catch him, maybe outside the room, I might say something like, well, I was pulling for you. I'm sorry things couldn't go a little bit better for your people.
This went about as well as I expected. The Federation and the Romulan Empire have always had difficult relations, and even when we've been allies, it's been one of desperation.
I understand that, but I suppose I can't. You know, I I can't help having some misgivings about what the Cardassians are going to get up to. Um, and I kind of I want to plant a seed that's something like you know I she's going to be a little bit sassy and she's going to give him a wink and say keep an eye on them for me, will you?
Weirdest
I think he likes
Vulcan
you.
ever.
He likes you.
and
I
and
think
I'm going to use my determination there and say when you can't make a scratch make an itch, you know what I mean? Like
okay.
just and this is I don't know if it's a role or just create an advantage that maybe comes into play some other time later.
I
But
think this just might be a story thing that you've
Yeah.
created.
fair enough. Well, I'm just trying to put some weight behind it, but I just wanted to establish that.
Yeah, well, so he likes you. He stops. He's like, "Are you sure that you're not Romulan?"
Yeah, I was wondering that myself.
Right?
I'll keep an eye on
I-
the Cardassians, Ensign, but I'd be more worried about the Breen if I were you.
Well, yes, but well, actually, you know what? When he says that, I'm gonna be visibly like in agreement because like I was genuinely disturbed by some of the things that they were doing and that they were doing in consort with the Rapu consortium. But we know what they're going to get up to after this meeting. I think the one thing we can take solace in is the fact that we have curtailed their ambitions for now.
I think that if their back is to a wall, you just put them in a position where they're fighting for their lives. And I think with that, he nods to the transporter operator and beams away. because Romulans always have to have that last word.
Last word.
Yeah, cool.
I would like to have a scene with the Gull alone in private before he leaves.
Yeah, I think okay. So maybe you guys are picking at what's left of the buffet. Like there's papers strewn around. The air smells dank because everybody's been in here for hours arguing and sweating. And you both reach for like the same bottle of yamak sauce at the same time.
And then I'll like gesture for him to grab it first and say, Gull, after you.
His eyes narrow, Captain, and he, starts pouring the yamak sauce all over whatever's on his plate.
I am glad to see that you were successful in your endeavors for our people.
Don't think I didn't notice you nudging things in our direction. If you think that will change the fact that you have been tried in absentia and convicted of treason, I wouldn't hold your breath.
I say, I'll smile at him and go, I would never do anything of the sort, but know this, Gull. I can hold my breath for a very long time.
I like it.
And take the yamak sauce and pour a little bit on, and then say, "Good day, Gull."
Okay. Who else? Ever,
I
you
think-
were with the Jurger trade representative?
Yes.
How does your goodbye go?
I give them a very polite bye. Shake his hand. I thank him very much for the experience and the information about his planet. And I will highly suggest a more humane method of disposing of them by just sending them back into their previous planet.
Okay. I think he thinks you're joking. Because after all, you are the one that created the disease that's killing them.
Not killing them, stopping them from breeding obsessively.
Right. Vivek.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you didn't have anybody. Oh, wait, no,
You had the
you
Breen.
had the Breen.
I had the breed, but they stalked off. So
Yeah.
I just kind of, I'm very polite and very, nod and don't want to. I ain't gonna poke him or anything.
Okay.
Poke the breed.
Tanjot. What's you and Gopak's goodbye look like?
I don't know. Probably, warriors goodbye. Maybe a little more, slightly more intimate.
He's like, I hope that our paths will cross again, Commander. You are a mighty warrior.
I don't know. I might pale next to you.
Well, we'll have to make sure to get a rematch.
I'll book the Hollow Suite next time.
It's a date. And he signals for the transporter operator to transport him away, and she has the weirdest look on her face as she does.
And Tesora sees the very end of this, but very, very distantly, like way far away, and then her eyes go wide when finally, like, the insight that she got like hours ago finally clicks, and she goes, "Oh."
Okay, so as you are all sort of like wrapping up and, taking your positions on the bridge, basking in, a mission well accomplished, Bomox looks up real quick and he's like, Captain, the Breen ships are powering up their weapons and shields.
I'm going to power up shields and yellow alert.
Question.
And then put ourselves between them and the planet. So if they're gonna shoot us instead of the planet.
What other ships are still here, or is it just us and the brain?
I think everybody was sort of leaving at around the same time. Everybody is still there. Yeah, I think everybody's still here.
Because I know what the Breen are gonna try to do.
Yeah, so they each ship launches a salvo of salvo.
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 But I tried to put ourselves in between the two.
Torpedoes at the planet.
Can I start shooting them out of the sky?
Yes.
Let's say, do we have some chaff or something?
No. Plus, they're not targeting you, so chaff wouldn't necessarily do a whole
Yeah, true.
lot. Okay, so Breen torpedoes work a little bit differently than Federation torpedoes. They do not have as strong of a warhead, but they move a lot faster. They hit with a kinetic strike, and then the payload detonates. Think almost like a bunker buster, but.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can try and shoot them down. Each of the ships has fired 3. So there are 6 torpedoes coming at the ship. Tanjat. Alright, so let's see. The difficulty to use energy weapons starts off at 2. The target is small. So we're going to say that the difficulty is 1 more. They're going to be in close range by the time that you get to them, so that's 4. Difficulty is 4 to hit 1, but the phaser array has the ability to hit multiple targets with an effect.
Okay, we'll do that.
You can burn all of our.
Yeah, and tell you what, I am gonna go and tag No Stranger to Violence.
Okay.
So there's my determination. So that's an automatic 1. And then I will spend
3.
3.
Right? Yeah.
Can this count as composure? Is to start shooting down a bunch of torpedoes as they're coming at me?
Yeah.
So 15-5. God damn it.
Okay,
Whoa.
1, 2, 3, 4.
5, 6.
5-6.
5-6.
Complication.
So I'll
Ship also?
Yeah, we'll worry about the ship also. Ships. Federation, Percival. All right, so the weapons security, so 14, double success on a 3. Ooh. All right, so that's 7. Are you going to dump all of that extra momentum into damage?
I think so.
We might as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, area or spread. Damage is 7. I think that's including security.
Oh, you know what I didn't do?
Hmm.
Do that determination?
Oh, roll that d6.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. I think it's so weird that the different types of energy weapons are so far away from the rest of the combat section. Okay, yeah, so roll 7 plus 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 plus 3 more dice plus we'll use that. So whoops, that. So roll 11d6.
Does that include my security?
Yes.
Which damage does the phaser array do?
Not a
7?
whole lot.
Well, it's 7
What about-
including security. I added
7
the security.
including security.
Yeah,
okay.
I went through and I added with the security.
And then isn't it a D6 for every momentum spent?
Yeah, which is
Oh,
why
and
you're
we
rolling
got
11
4.
dice.
Okay. Shit. Two. It's 3, 4, 6, 7, 9.
All right.
There's some effects in there. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna count effects first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you hit all of them. Damage is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 damage. Wow. Okay. Well done. I think you take most of them out. What's the complication?
Maybe we get hit.
No. Oh God.
I burn out the APS relays.
The Klingon ship has the same idea as you. And it gets in your line of fire briefly as you're like, switching between the targets.
So we also hit the Klingons.
Yeah, and it already took a hell of a hit from the Breen ship earlier. So I think the phaser just it's Tanjot, roll a d20. Lower number is good, or lower number is better.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Yeah, okay. So I think the ship is it's unsalvageable. So
But
a few
they don't
crew members die. A few crew members do, but you're able to take most of them off. But Gopak has suffered the dishonor of having his ship destroyed by an ally because of, because of the nature of the emergency.
But the warheads don't blow up the planet.
They weren't going to blow up the planet. They were going to
No,
create an ice age by hitting
yeah.
geological fault zones.
Yeah.
Are the Breens still here?
No,
Oh.
I think they start leaving. I mean, you can try and do something if you want.
No, all we're gonna do is charge up our big lance and just stand there threateningly.
They leave with the Baroka behind them. And I think that's it. That was their little tantrum.
Good shot, Tanjot.
Not good
Yeah.
enough. I just hit
Nice
my
shooting
ship.
tech.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I know this episode was a little more talky, but it has set up some pretty important things for the coming series or arc. Yeah, so that was this episode. That was episode 12, Cold Welcome. This has been Star Trek Adventures Pathfinder. I was Colin, the GM, and in order of how much they had to talk tonight, we had Tara.
Hey, I love this kind of stuff. I am a talker, but so yay! Liked this episode. I played Damore, negotiator and former spy and traitor to the Cardassian Union. You guys just found out, or not traitor? No, what was it?
Yeah, no, treachery. You're yeah.
Yeah, traitor.
Yeah, and Daniel.
I was Desora, the allegedly Vulcan paleoastronomer.
I just figured out what your next B plot's going to be. All right, Everoth.
Hello, I was Eversol. You're so confusing trying to save Tribbles, Doctor, off the ship.
And James.
Alright. James, and I played Tanjat, and Tanjat got it on with Klingon.
Penetrated his ship with your phaser.
I might have been the other way around.
And
Trey.
last but not least, except in terms of speaking roles, Tom.
I'm Tom. I played Commander Vivek. He didn't say much, but he absorbed everything and keeping an eye on what's going on.
You got yours coming, Tom. Don't worry.
Oh yeah.
All right. We are the Kobold Cafe, or at least several members thereof. You can catch us here 3-ish nights a week. Twitch.tv/Kobold Cafe. You can get some of our archives on thekoboldcafe.com, including all 12 episodes of Star Trek Adventures. We're also on YouTube, but you have to search for Kobold Cafe because unless you do the thing, we don't get a vanity URL. Where else are we? Twitter. I think we're just at Kobold Cafe.
That's correct.
Yeah. All right. So until next week, this is Star Trek Adventures Pathfinder. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.